Okay, so sometimes you can also read in the texts when it says, you know, may I be free from outer and inner hindrances. Yeah, so we have like outer hindrances would be not having a place, not having a group, not being allowed to practice. Those are more or less or like the weather is terrible and you can't travel or whatever. Then the inner hindrances are our own, you know, the body is not well, the mind is not well, there's resistance, there's no interest, and as you see, I don't know where it comes from. So many Westerners are very interested in bodhicitta, emptiness, all these kinds of things, and but for purification there is not that much interest actually, because we don't feel these negative imprints. If we would feel them, you know, like cancer or something, then we would be able to do some more about it. Also tantric practices, because many people from the West, they come to Buddhist teachings with a kind of disgust for their own religion, with a kind of aversion towards their own religion, because not because they study the religion, but because they look at the practitioners who practice that, and then you have aversion coming up, and then whatever kind of smells a bit like religion, which this one does, it is religion. You have an object, you make prayers, you ask for, you know, purify my negative things, so then there's big resistance. And also for these tantric practices, I remember at one point somebody said to her teacher, who I think he was giving an initiation, and she said, yeah, I will bring my husband. And then the teacher said, but does he want to come? And she said, no, but I'll bring him. And he said, like, you know, not everybody has the karmic imprints for these things to be able to work for them. So then, again, don't think you do, you know, for the group people here now, don't think that you're doing something wrong, or, you know, how can we advertise in another way or whatever. It's like, make it available. And people come or they don't come, and that shouldn't really matter so much, yeah. Because as I'm saying, you know, it's like it's difficult to have access to this, because you need to jump in, and you need to trust, and that's not a quality that many people have, because this distrust, that we don't trust anybody and anything, has become almost a virtue today. So we don't want to appear stupid by believing these things that might not work, and then we prefer not to do it than to find out that it might not work, kind of a little bit like this. So there's quite big hindrances to be able to practice these things with an open heart and an open mind. Yeah, because also it needs to really understand what it is, it needs the preparation of definite emergence, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness, because otherwise it really is totally theistic. Yeah, like you asked Vajrasattva to purify you, to even forgive you. Sometimes at the end of the sadhana, you even have like verses which says, in case I made mistakes, please forgive me. And then they say, what? Buddha doesn't need to forgive me. But it's all, you know, again, we have to start to understand, what does it really mean? Yeah, what does it really mean? And also, if you look at the different tantric ways of doing it, there's 4 different classes of tantra. So at the beginning, you do have an outside deity like this here, like Vajrasattva, or when we did Tara or Medicine Buddha. But when you go to highest yoga tantra, you have no more outside deity. Yeah, you dissolve everything to emptiness, and then at the beginning of the sadhana, you arise as the deity. Yeah, but you go step by step. Yeah, and also with the visualization. Yeah, I know. You know, the whole thing about tantra works a lot with symbols, colors, syllables like mantras and stuff like that. So at the beginning there's so much, and then the Western mind, again, we want to understand everything, we grasp at everything, and you know, then we get a headache like Sigal. Yeah, we get migraine or whatever, because we try too hard.
To remember, all we need to remember and to put it all together, I think.
Yeah, but we
for
try.
Me it's a bit frightening. Maybe that's why I didn't take the step yet. Because
But
I can't put the whole picture together you know, remember everything I have to remember.
You don't have to.
You know,
You don't have to. Again, you know, it's like typing, writing on the computer. So you would have to, if you think that everything will go through concepts all the time, and it's not habit, you would have to every time think, try to think when you write what you're going to write. Your fingers will not be able to do it. Yeah? If you go, you know, like letter by letter. But if you let the fingers go, it goes, and it does it automatically. I'm sure you are sitting alone on the computer, you know what I'm talking about.
I write a lot of the computer. I didn't pay attention to that.
With your 10 fingers, yeah? And it just goes automatically. Yeah, 4, okay, whatever. Yeah, but was it like this at the beginning?
By the way, I studied to print, you know, a blank, you know, blank.
Yeah.
I think I forgot it all. So maybe I'm just a lost case. No?
You're not a lost case. You just have to do it. It's the same as with this. You just have to do it. As you're writing on your computer, you look on the screen and you don't look on your fingers. It will not take long until you don't need to look at your fingers anymore. And this is what Tantra is all about. To repeat, to do these sadhanas again and again and again and again. Then the mind, you know, the visualization, all that, it does it automatically. You were talking about newness, you know, I mean, Chenresig, 11 heads, 1,000 arms, 1, 2, 3, 6 main arms, knowing what he's holding in them. It took me about maybe 40 nunes. On top of it, leading it where I have to speak what I'm saying until I could do this kind of spontaneously. It's habit. You need to train that. Yeah? And the thing is, at the beginning we use concepts like descriptions, how he looks and all this. Slowly, slowly, you don't need it anymore. Many people say, I can't visualize. I mean, close your eyes and visualize the shop, your favorite shop, where you shop for your vegetables. Close your eyes. Do it.
No, I can visualize.
You need to think, then I go in, here's the door, then is this, then is that, here are the cucumbers, here's the chocolate. You need to think like this?
No.
No. Why? Because you go there very often.
But the point is, you never saw a person made of light. You see a tanka, you see a statue, but you never saw.
But you can visualize, this is what I mean.
Yeah, you will never.
You can see the pictures.
Yeah, but it's not what you're supposed to visualize. You're not supposed to.
You go into YouTube these days?
Yeah, I've seen
You
that
see
video.
tri-dimensional deities made out of light and all that.
I will do it. I will code it.
Yeah. You know, there's like one is a Yamantaka visualization, the whole thing with what you're supposed to visualize in your heart and all this, and the palace where they live and everything. They do three-dimensional things. That's not it. It's because also if I need to visualize a shop where I've been once, even though I've seen it, I can't remember. I can't close my eyes and remember the shop how it looks when I've been once. Yeah? So that's what I mean. So, and you try to go away from these conceptual, very material kind of things with these syllables and forms and colors and made out of light and all this, and then it will happen. Also, you know, when I did my Vajrasattva retreat, I mean, I had no problems visualizing Vajrasattva. The only problem I had was he wouldn't sit still. So he started to act, you know, he started to be like all kind of comic stories about, there was my negativities like yellow snakes hanging down, and he would go with the laser gun going psh, 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 like, you know, killing them all, or then he would be on top of it, and me and my negativities like balls down here, and then like a tennis machine, you know when you play tennis?
Yeah.
The machine where it comes out, so it would go psh, psh, and he would catch them and dissolve them like soap bubbles. I mean, again, it's like I have very vivid fantasy, so visualization, I never had a problem. This is what I mean. But also now I don't need to, he doesn't move anymore, it's okay. But what I need to do so that something works inside in my heart, I need to put my guru into there. Because otherwise it becomes a very far away Vajrasattva, which is, as you say, somebody I've never seen, you know. And also with the forms, when the Tibetans look at the Dalai Lama, I can see from the expression on their faces and the way they move and the way they look, they see something different than what I see. I see a jolly old man who is very funny and all this. They see a Buddha because they have trained to see the Buddha in the gurus. Yeah? So it's all training. So then with time, as you repeat these things and you make the effort to go through the sadhana with all the descriptions, then slowly, slowly you don't need it anymore. This is how it goes. Yeah. This is how it goes. And then of course the best is to do a 3-month retreat. Then you get, yeah. And why I love this picture, because somebody gave me an A4 picture of this. It's a bit bigger, and it's a tanka that belongs to the Dalai Lama, and that was a photograph of the tanka, and I had it next to me during the whole 3 months. And I think the expression on their face, if you want to say peace and bliss, I mean, it is so well expressed. I mean, this is, especially his face, I think is one of the most blissful faces I've ever seen. I mean, it's such a beautiful tanka. This is why then I took a picture of the picture, and this is then how it became then the support for doing the practice. Yeah. So the whole thing is to dissolve ordinary view. That's the goal of Tantra. Yeah, this is why we dissolve everything to emptiness here only at the end. Other sadhanas already at the beginning. But because there's purification, then it's built up like this. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so we do as I said, I read, and if you have a question you can just go, what is this? I don't understand, okay? Otherwise I just continue. Again, we start page 5. On your right side is your father, on your left side is your mother. Also, putting these two people, it's like for some people it's very difficult because they have harmed them. Yeah, so they don't want to have them there. Yeah, so then the first thing is to work with that aversion towards your biological parents, because otherwise your practice is not going to work. Yeah, and Geshe Tenzin Zopa, who was really abused by his father heavily, and he wanted to go to the monastery. So Geshe Lama Konchok, who was his master, said, I am not taking you until you have dissolved that anger towards your dad. Your father is your best friend to transform your mind. So, yeah, this is why we put them there. So even if you feel like, no, I don't want to have them there, put them there. And slowly, slowly, again, you know, as we do these practices, all our negative emotions, they decrease, even though we don't feel it. And slowly, slowly, it becomes easier also, yeah, to put them there. And slowly, slowly, all of a sudden, we go like, ah, it's thanks to them that I can do these practices. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this body. I mean, this physical form here is a result of a sperm and an egg, and then afterwards food, nourishment, and that's it. And where does it come from? From your mom and from your dad. Without that we would have another body, but who knows which one, yeah? So on your right side is your father, on your left side is your mother. Mother always on the left side because it's the wisdom side. It's the emptiness side. Father, it's the compassion or the method side. Or if you want yin and yang, left is yin, right is yang. And then we try to do the unification of these things. Your enemies and those sentient beings who make you agitated are in front of you. So again, it's something that is totally the opposite from what we usually do. We want to put them behind us. We don't want to see them. Here we put them even closer to the Buddha. So we go like, especially you should be very close to the Buddha. And then the ones that we like to be with, that create attachment, friends, and those to whom you are attached, are seated behind you. All other universal living beings in human form are surrounding you as far as you can imagine. So it means you let the mind go very, very, very far to think all sentient beings. I'm doing this for all sentient beings. Then you forget a little bit about yourself and you do become a part, like a tiny, tiny, tiny particle of this universe. When you look at the universe and when you look at ourselves, you know, we couldn't even be seen with our bare eye. We're so small compared to the whole universe. And compared to beings, we're just, you know, one. Out there, we can't even count them. We make such a big fuss about ourselves. So this thinking about all sentient beings around us, it makes the mind vast and spacious. Because whatever you think, this is how the mind becomes. And the nature of the mind is vast and spacious. So just try to visualize that. It's easy to visualize. Dad at your right side, mom at your left side. If you're not sure about left and right, then think about it. People you dislike in front of you, people you do like behind you, and around you are all other sentient beings. One usually visualizes all in human form, but each one undergoing the specific suffering of his own realm, like the pain, the heat and the cold of the hell realms, the greed, the hunger, the thirst of the hungry ghosts, the stupidity and the being exploited of the animals, the fear of the animals. Then this constant competition in the human realm, that we're never happy, we always have to be number one, we always have to be better than others, we always have to succeed, this whole pressure that we put on ourselves. Then the asuras or the demigod realm is like they are very well off, but they're jealous of the god realms who have more than they have, so they can't enjoy what they have. You can think about all the beings in the bardo, like in the bardo of becoming, like looking for a body. And then the beings in the form and formless realm, of course, they don't have forms that are perceptible, so, but you can still think, you know. Innumerable sentient beings, I'm just one of them. Makes us open, spacious, relaxed. No need to prove that we're better than everybody else. We're not special. We're just a part of what we call the universe. Then you visualize the object of refuge, the merit field in the space in front of you. Either the elaborate visualization of the one in too many, as in Chocho. So again, if you're familiar with this practice, then you start building it up, you know, step by step. Slowly, slowly, by familiarizing yourself, or in a more simple way, Shakyamuni Buddha sitting on a lion throne with the sun and the moon disk, dressed in saffron robes of a monk, very peaceful face, long, narrow, smiling eyes, long ears. His right hand in the gesture of touching the earth as a witness, like at his right knee, fingers touching the moon disk, and his left hand in his lap with a bowl filled with nectar, the nectar that overcomes all maras, as it is called. It's a dharma, the medicine for our suffering, for our misconceptions, wrong views. So again, as much as possible, just try. You know, I'm not saying do, I'm saying try. Put some effort into that. You're familiar with the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. So make it three-dimensional, make it transparent. A white Om at his crown, a red R at his throat, a blue Hung in his heart. Make it radiating light. Like I don't know, like a transparent vase which has like a light bulb inside or something. Like a lamp. Don't make it kind of dead or flat. And what is more important, give him the qualities that somebody has from accomplishing this path. Universal compassion, universal wisdom, and the exact skillful means how to benefit us and how to guide us. And so the trust we can build up by thinking, well, I can't feel anything, I don't see anything, but I just trust he's there. And then you mix him with your guru. If my guru would only appear in the rainbow body of a Buddha, I would not be able to see him because my mind is too gross. It's too solidified. I only believe what I see, so we don't see rainbow bodies. That's why for us, the Guru manifests in a human form, so that we can hear, we can see, we can be inspired. So, and we think if you have Shakyamuni Buddha there, you think I see the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Sangha I see in his body, the Dharma I can hear from his voice, and the Buddha, of course, is his mind. So sometimes we make the Buddha too ordinary and we think, okay, the Buddha is not a god, therefore he's like a normal human being. No, he's not. He is a holy being. He's not an omnipotent god, but he's omniscient. And he has powers. So the more we give him these powers, the more he can use the powers. But if we are closed to the blessing, to the inspiration, the Buddhas can't do anything for us. So then again, as we take refuge you take with two kind of mind states. One is being fed up with samsara and being somewhat afraid to end up in the lower states next time round after death. And the other one is trust. Trust in the Buddha's teachings that if I apply them, they will work. It's with these two kinds of minds you take refuge, which is at the bottom of page 5. I forever take refuge in Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and in all the three vehicles. In the dakinis of secret mantra yoga, in the heroes and heroines, in the empowering goddesses and the bodhisattvas, but most of all, I take refuge in my holy Guru forever. I forever take refuge in Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and in all the three vehicles, in the dakinis of secret mantra yoga, in the heroes and heroines, in the empowering goddesses and the bodhisattvas, but most of all, I take refuge in my holy Guru forever. I forever take refuge in Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and in all the three vehicles, and in the dakinis of secret mantra yoga, in the heroes and heroines, in the empowering goddesses and the bodhisattvas, but most of all, I take refuge in my holy Guru forever. So this is somehow, it's a tantric way of taking refuge. If it's too complicated or it doesn't inspire you, you just go normal. You know, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha until I attain enlightenment. By practicing generosity and so forth, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings.
So why is this more tantric?
Huh?
Why is this refuge?
Because with the Guru devotion. Yeah, and it talks about dakas, dakini, secret mantra yoga. Secret mantra yoga is tantra. Yeah, so then one sees that there is very subtle energies around, like the dakas and the dakinis. It says they have an influence on our nervous system, for example. They can be very helpful, they can also be very harmful. So, you know, all these energies, you can call them vibes, energies. We know that we can be touched by energies. You know, people talk about power spots, where you feel well. People talk about Maybe most of you have been to a concentration camp. Yeah? You can feel the energy, even 80 years later, still, what went on there. So something remains. Yeah?
Oh, I haven't been.
Hmm? You've never been? I have been. So, yeah. Or other places where you just feel like a bit creepy. Yeah? Kind of not happy. You don't know what's going on. And very often, sometimes even at home. It's not just a place. It's like you wake up and you go like, ugh, what's going on? Yeah, so then they say, again, you know, all of it is placebo, okay? So then they say, well, these dakas and dakinis are helpful and who can influence your kind of nervous system. They like good smell, so then light a stick of incense, okay? Now, do they exist out there? No. They are a protection of your mind. Does it mean they don't exist because they're a protection of your mind? They do exist as a protection of your mind. You do something to please them, you are sure that they will help you, they will help you. This is how it works. You see, you have to be very, very clever for this to understand how this works, okay? Because the whole of Buddhism is like a placebo. It's not true. It's only relatively true. It's not true. But what we do in Tantra, we exchange this ordinary view of good and bad and, you know, suffering and da-da-da-da-da. We dissolve everything into emptiness and then we paint with our mind, because the mind is visualizing what is going on. It's not seeing what is there. Yeah? Otherwise we wouldn't see anything, because we would have to go down to quantum physics, you wouldn't see anything anymore. So the mind fills out from previous experiences and what it knows and tendencies and habits and all this, right? So that's conventional reality, yeah? But still, you know that placebo works. So then you say, oh, but it's placebo, I know it's placebo, it doesn't work anymore. That doesn't make sense, because if you know that placebo works, then you understand emptiness. Then you understand appearance, but empty. But if you go, no, placebo doesn't work because when I know it's placebo, it doesn't work anymore, then Tantra doesn't work. Neither the Buddhas, nor us, nor the hells, nor the hungry ghosts, nor the Bardo beings, nothing exists from its own side. Yeah? So what you do is like, you see, our mind is like, we have painted so many pictures on that mind already, opinions, tendencies, all this. So now it is turning it into emptiness, dissolving ordinary view, is like this. There's a nice picture, but anyway, you know, if you would kind of pour acid over that picture, so then it becomes blank. Then you can paint a new picture, which is what is usually done in Tantra. Now, not in this sadhana, because it's purification, but you're familiar with Tara sadhana. Yeah? You're familiar with other sadhanas, where first you dissolve everything into emptiness. And then on that empty screen, you paint a pure picture. Pure in the sense of not needing any care, rainbow body, not needing any food. You know, everything becomes nectar anyway. Pure in the sense of no suffering. Pure in the sense of doesn't exist from its own side. That's when it becomes the purest, when we know Tara is a protection of my mind, or Vajrasattva is a protection of my mind, but that projection works. Then it becomes pure. Because why? Because I, me, also empty of any inherent existence. When we go, I am real and Tara is fake, we miss the point. When we go, both are fake, then we go a bit closer to reality, but still, we both are fake, but it has a function. A dream exists, but it's not true. But it has a function to make us happy or afraid, and you know. The other night I had a dream of, because I was listening to Tenzin Zopa's teachings in Switzerland, but it was like something like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I was lying down, I fell asleep, and all of a sudden I was in Bern. I was in Bern, seeing Geshe-la, shaking his hand, and da-da-da, and all this. Then I woke up and thought, oh, it was just a dream. Then I thought, well, why shouldn't you be happy? Because it was a dream. The rest is also just a dream. And I was very happy. To be able to keep the happiness. Yeah, I saw him for a while in the dream. I heard his teachings. I said hello to him. I was very happy to see him. I touched him. He felt real. It wasn't true, but I can still be happy because it happened in the dream. So when we start to approach the whole thing a little bit like this, it is to dissolve this very, very, very kind of concretized, crystallized view of this is real, all of the other stuff is kind of, the Buddhas are not real, Tara is not real, and all this. But to be able to, now I'm talking about this, I shouldn't talk about this so much, because to be able to feel it and to know how it works, you have to do it. You just have to do it. And our cynical mind doesn't want to do it until it took everything apart. What is this and what is that and what is it? And then it becomes so complicated because there's so many details, yeah? Then we kind of get overwhelmed, okay? This is why I said the last session, you know, the main thing, light comes in, flushes out the negativity. Forget about the rest. If we want to keep everything at once, you're too tense. You're much too tense. You're much too serious with these things. Yeah.
We are supposed to visualize Vajrasattva above our crown chakra, right?
Yeah, above your crown or in front of you. Crown is easier for the light, you know. If it's here,
Yeah.
the light comes down. It's much easier.
For some, for me,
Yeah.
not at all, because I want to look at the Vajrasattva, and then I put him in front of me, and then you say, on your left side is your mom, on your right side is your dad, so...
Well, Vajrasattva is not there yet, by the way. Vajrasattva is not there yet.
No, okay, but then, you know, I have to switch angles all the time. It's not that easy, because...
Nobody says it's easy.
No, but I have to train
Yeah?
my mind
Yeah.
to put him above my...
Yeah. If you find it very difficult, visualize, close your eyes. Okay, think Vajrasattva is on your crown. And then you look at yourself in a mirror. Visualize looking at yourself in a mirror with Vajrasattva on your crown. How's that?
Better,
Yeah.
because he's facing now
The same way, yeah.
direction,
Yeah.
I'm facing.
So then you visualize looking in a mirror. Huh?
No, it's easier.
Yeah. So then you do the easiest things before, you know. And then the danger is if you do long, long mantra recitations, you know, the mind goes here and there and everywhere, and you know the mantra by heart, but you're not there anymore. So this is why it's better to keep short mantra recitations at the beginning and to train the mind to be here. And whenever, same as with shamatha, whenever you feel that your mind has gone away, you just bring it back. Yeah?
So, but when you bring it back, you bring back all the visualizations?
Whatever you can. You know, we cannot hold the whole thing. So how you train the mind so that the visualization then when it comes spontaneously, then maybe you can hold a bit more. But just having a white blob here, by the way, is okay. Feeling the presence is important. He's there. No doubt he's there. I can't feel anything, I can't see anything, but he's there because I did what I needed to do. I invoked him. Yeah? So like this. So when you come back, I think it's very good to come back with, what am I doing here? Yeah, light coming, flushing out negativities. That's the most important thing in the purification. Yeah? Or sometimes then you jump up there again and you think, to stay with what you're doing. You jump up there, yeah, it's my guru, you know, and then the heart opens if you have a guru and you have a good connection with the guru. Or when you're very distracted also, do you ever ask your guru to help you in the form of the Buddha? Yeah? Even when he's not there? Good.
I asked
Yeah.
the Tara to
Yeah.
help me.
Do you mix Tara with the guru?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Huh?
Yeah, it's
This is the most difficult thing, you know. It's so difficult for us. And then also when it says here, you know, as we go, now we took refuge, and then we go, the heaviest of negative karma in relation to my virtuous friend, getting angry at them, generating wrong views. I mean, this is very Asian. So again, be careful. You know, not everybody who calls themselves a guru is a good person. There are very few who are not good people, that is true, but these very few create a lot of damage because you trust them. So you have skeptical intelligence, so use it. You know, if the guru is asking you to do something that is immoral or doesn't go with your ethical values, then don't just blindly do it, but ask him or her, excuse me, why do you want me to do that? Especially if it's when they ask to have sex with you. Yeah, I mean, my age is no danger. But when you...
But the guru never calls himself a guru, actually. No?
But it's enough that he gives an initiation that it sort of implies that.
The guru becomes a guru. I mean, you can say, I'm not a guru if you have thousands of people in front of you going like this. Of course, your mind sees a guru. Yeah, but the guru, here he's talking about root guru. And root guru is somebody that you don't even have to go and ask, but in your heart, you know, this is my guru. And then that becomes your guide. Then it becomes quite serious when we get angry at them, when we start, you know, making fun of them, how they walk, how they talk. They don't even know how to use computers. You know, these kind of things. And so there we have to be very, very careful. Okay. And seeing the guru as the deity, I mean, that again, it's really training. It's really training. Whenever you visualize a deity, then you kind of put the guru inside. And slowly, slowly, it mixes. Slowly, slowly. Because otherwise it becomes theistic. And if you can see Vajrasattva at your crown, the future result of your practice, that would be the best. That would be the best. Because then we trust it and we keep going. Yeah, this is me up there. Yeah, and that's the most difficult one. That's very difficult. But try it out. You know, don't feel like a heretic. Try it out. Wow. Yeah. So, why do we need these Buddhas? We need it as a support. We need it as a support to visualize, because what we think we are not. We're actually Buddhas. This is why we need these forms, an expression of the Dharmakaya, and not an expression of a confused mind. Okay? And yeah, the more you practice, the more it becomes... You see, and Khandrila, no Khandra Rinpoche, but Khandrila, like the oracle of the Dalai Lama that some of you might know, she was leading a Mani Padme Hum, like the Chendresig retreat in Nalanda in France. And people would ask her questions and questions and questions about the Sadhana. And she looked at us and she said, stop, you don't understand what this is all about anyway, you know. Just do it. And then, if you just do it without taking it all apart, it could be that the mind goes on a more subtle level. Then you will understand, not with concepts. So this is in order to go away from concepts. Yeah. And then the mind starts to make these images in a non-conceptual way. And then at the time of death, you know, when you go into clear light and all these images, it starts to appear instead of my father, my mother, my partner, my children, my car, my this, my that. Then all of a sudden we start to see deities instead of seeing like the things we are attached to. Yeah, and then we have a better chance to actually go right out of samsara at the time of death. So this is why we train also. Yeah. Okay? So it's for subtle minds, which we have not. So try not to take it up too much into the more gross mind, because then again we miss the point. Yeah. Still, it's good to talk about it, but something that we do, huh?
Yeah, confused. I mean, talking about emptiness. It's been confused.
Of course, because we have dualistic. We are already confused because we think what we see is true is actually fake. So of course we are confused. Yeah. That's why. That's why. Okay. So then, the power of regret, page 6. First, recall the definition of negative karma. Any action that results in suffering, usually an action motivated by ignorance, attachment, or aversion. Almost every action I do 24 hours a day is motivated by worldly concern. That's true. I mean, we're concerned about our comfort, whether we gain some, so we don't want to be uncomfortable. We are concerned about gain because we don't want to lose. We're concerned about our good reputation. We don't want to have a bad reputation, and we like it very much when we are praised, and we don't like to be criticized. So most of our actions, one of these, or even two sometimes, these motivations stand behind it. Yeah. So it's not a matter of them feeling bad, it's a matter of recognizing it. Hey, where's my bodhicitta here? Yeah. So we change. So we still do the same actions, but we put a different motivation behind. And maybe at the beginning the motivation is totally fake, you know, but at least it's fake. At least it goes in that direction. And out of the fakeness, you know, when we tell stories, first time we don't believe it, or when we tell lies, first time we're still a bit nervous, yeah, second time less nervous, third time it's the truth. So this is how fake changes into truth. And this is the problem about the politicians. They're not lying. They're convinced that what they're saying is true. That is what the problem is.
They believe themselves, yeah?
Huh? They believe what they say is true. That is, if they would know that they're lying, okay. You know, then maybe there can be a change. But they told it so many times that they actually believe what they're saying is true. And that's why they're so full of themselves. So 24 hours a day, yeah, I mean, we create subtle negative karma by having the view of I and others separate, dualistic view. That also it's, you know, based on ignorance. It is like this from birth to death in this life, and has been like that from beginningless rebirth. Nearly every action I have ever created has been non-virtuous, the cause of suffering. So even things we do for others, we do it with the feeling of my friends, my children, my this. If it would be a total stranger, we wouldn't do it. Yeah, we do it because it's my children. It's because my friends. It's my this and my that. Again, it's self-concern. Yeah.
No, we do stuff for total strangers as well.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Do you spend the same amount of money on total strangers than you spend money on your children?
It's not a question of money.
It's a question of what? Do you spend as many thoughts about how to help them, how to be of benefit to them with strangers as with your children?
Sorry to say that, but yes.
Okay, good.
No, because
Fantastic. Then that's fantastic. I don't. I do not. So it's good.
But you do.
But you're not, excuse me, you're not strangers.
Where do you go?
But you're not strangers.
We were at first.
But you're not now.
Students are.
You're not now. So it's like,
Well,
you know.
teach students, you don't know all of them.
It's a useless argument, by the way. Okay? So also, if I say something, and I point out something that we still do is not so good to do, and you don't do it, be happy that you don't do it and just leave it, you know? Like, if you go to a conference about sickness, yeah, and you have the sickness, then you listen. If you don't have the sickness, you don't need to say, excuse me, I don't have this sickness. You just let it pass. Yeah? I mean, okay.
Is
Yeah.
there a visualization of this
About the karma? No, not really.
with the power of regret? So when you do it in the sadhana, you just
Which one?
with the power of regret.
Regret. No, this is a feeling. This is an emotion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we just remind ourselves of this.
Just to remind ourselves the way we spend our days. I mean, maybe for not tomorrow because we're also here, but for when Sunday, yeah, just check. How many things do you do just in 1 hour for your body? How many actions do you do for your body? Just check in 1 hour. Almost all of it, 99%. Yeah, my body. Do you do this the same thing for other people's body? No. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, this is what I meant. Okay. So the power of regret is kind of, you know, it's this whole thing. They use this example. You're sitting with 4 people. Everybody has the same something to drink. And then one starts to drops dead. Next one, same, drops dead. Next one, same, drops dead. You're still alive, but you know you drank the same thing. So you understand, maybe I have something that has more antidote or whatever, but I have something inside that will kill me like it killed the other people. So that kind of regret, you know, you can say, shit, I shouldn't have drunk it. You're not going, I'm so stupid, who gave it to me, who made the poison, like this. You just go, oh no! And then you go, what shall I do now? So it's taking refuge, generating bodhicitta, saying the mantra, and doing a strong determination. Next time somebody gives me something to drink, I will not take it. I don't know if it has happened to you in India. You know, you're sitting with Indian people. They pay a lot of attention, and you feel like, wow, they don't see me as a tourist. I'm not a stupid tourist, I'm one of them. They offer you tea. Then 5 hours later you wake up on a platform in a train station. You don't know where you are. The train is long gone. All your belongings are gone. They put drops into your tea.
What?
Drops. Drops, cow drops. Drops to make you sleep. Yeah. And if you're really not lucky, you wake up in a hospital because you were unconscious and people bring you in a hospital, you have a drip and you have no clue if that needle is clean or not. That's India. Yeah, so if it happens to you once, yeah, I mean, let's say you're not unconscious yet. You see that the other two, they start sleeping. And you know, I drank the same tea. So what would you do? What would you do? If you can, you would vomit if you can. Or you look for help, you know. You try to find another Westerner who is still sober and you give him your belongings and you say, you know, can you sit by me until I wake up again?
What if you don't even know that Indians do?
Huh?
What if you don't even know that Indians, like, this is the plot?
This is why I'm telling you. So that's why you have to go and find a Westerner, not an Indian. This is India. Why do they do it?
To rob you.
Because they're poor.
Yeah.
Because that's how they, in an easy way, they can get your money. So they're not angry at you. They don't do it out of anger. They do it out of attachment because they want your belongings, because they think everybody who comes to India is rich. So I take their possessions, who cares? It's like not so much. Or they don't think anything whatsoever.
But it doesn't sit well with their belief in karma.
This is not my problem, my dear. You know, if everybody who knows about karma would not create negative karma anymore, we would all be in nirvana. If even we don't live according to the knowledge of karma, how about them? Yeah. Also, you know, the Hindus have a very funny thing. They go, if it is not in your karma that I can rob you things, then I can't take your things. So this is how they go. It's also your karma that I can rob you things, which is true. So when I caught somebody like this, I said, okay, but at least don't be happy about it, okay? Because then your negative karma is not so big. I said, and go and bring it to the temple, don't spend it. So, anyway. You know, we all know about karma, right? But we're still out of tendencies, habits, ignorance, no caring. We still follow our instincts and impulses that we know they're not. Especially with the speech. Maybe body, not so much. Body, we're kind of, you know, we don't steal, we don't have sexual misconduct, we don't kill, but gossiping about others, harsh words, you know, not so, you know, harsh words can be also an expression on the face, for example. Disdain, kind of, you know, annoyance when they do something, slandering, lying, yeah, so we know about karma, but we still do. But you understand the regret, yeah? So the regret should give you something, what do I do now? Not to stay in the past, I shouldn't have done it, that's not helpful. But what shall I do now? Okay, so you come to the present, and then, yeah, you would, if you feel like you're just about to go to sleep, you find another Westerner, and you give him your belongings, a friend of mine happened, and he went all the way from Delhi, I think, to Kolkata, and all the way back from Kolkata, and the train, the ticket collector, he saw what happened, and he took his belongings, he kept it for him and gave it back to him when he woke up. So it's not all Indians, but you don't know which Indian. So you have a good chance that you're more protected if you go. I would go and find a Westerner if I see one in that case. But they could also take you things, by the way, it's like there's no guarantee. So yeah, this is why I don't, in India, bottles, have your own bottle, close it, don't accept any drinks from people you don't know. Buy your own tea, because you can buy tea in the train. Yeah, it's sad, but that's the way it is. Not everybody is like this, You can still enjoy Indian company very much.
Yeah, but you never know where it's going. I was scammed also
Huh?
I was scammed also in India, not this specific scam, but you cannot be aware of all the types of scams that there are.
But this one is serious. This is what I
Yes,
mean.
this is-
Because you can die. I mean, you can really die, especially if you have a drip that is not clean. Yeah, you can get all kinds of sicknesses. So that's a dangerous one. Shit on shoe, that's okay, but all the other things they do. They do a lot of things. And I love India, I know all these things, and I don't distrust them, but also I don't trust them, but I love them. I really like the Indian mentality and the way they're curious and ask and open and all this is fine. Yeah. And if I get, as you say, if I get scammed, well, it's India. So I said, it's India. I don't expect India to be Switzerland. Otherwise, I don't go. Okay. Not only that, but continuously I've also been breaking my Pratimoksha, Bodhisattva Tantric vows. Worst of all, I have created the heaviest of negative karmas in relation to my virtuous friends, getting angry at them, generating wrong views, having non-devotional thoughts towards them, harming their holy body and disobeying their advice. Okay. You see, the guru is somebody very important in Asia, much more than a teacher here in Europe or in the West, okay? So you already learned that this is a very special person. So when we do negative karma with a very special person, we feel worse, we feel much worse to get angry at the very special person than getting angry at somebody we don't respect. So the natural respect for the guru, you see, in India, you only have to say Guruji, and all the doors are open somehow. Yeah, I mean, not me, but it's like if I have somebody with me that is Tibetan, and I say he's a Guruji, then everything opens, because there's very high respect towards gurus, because they know, why are you going from, what's it called in Hinduism? Why are you going from Maya to moksha, or the other way around? Like from illusion to purity, something like that. I don't know it so well. Or why are you going from samsara to nirvana? Thanks to the guru, somebody who shows you the path. So you know that what you own to them, you owe them a state which is free of suffering. So this is why the status that they have is very, very, very high. Okay. So when you get angry at somebody, when you don't follow their advice, what else does it say? Generating wrong views, having non-devotional thoughts. When you know that somebody is so kind to you that they forget about their happiness and bring you on this path to enlightenment, and you hurt or you harm them, you feel triply bad than when you do it to a person you don't respect. And if you don't follow your guru's advice, and I've seen it many, many times, you're not even happy when the guru comes to your area. You don't want to go and see the person because you have a bad conscience. You feel guilty, you feel ashamed. And with that mind, you cannot practice. That's why it becomes the most heaviest karma, because it is the most important person on your path, and you know it. So again, the karma is created by your own mind. It's not the guru who is punishing you. Yeah, but again, it can be brought to all the gurus or whatever. So it's a complicated topic. This guru thing is really complicated. Yes, but he or she is important. Because we need guidance. We cannot do this alone. And especially when you see how many things can be practiced, You need somebody who tells you go that way. No, you might want to go into a retreat and he says, no, open a Dharma center. And then you have enough confidence to do it. You see, most of the people I know who are having Dharma centers, from their own side, they would never have opened a Dharma center. But it's because the Guru said so. And then they have enough confidence. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if my Guru wouldn't have told me, yes, go. I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have that confidence. Yeah? Do you see what I mean? So it becomes a very, very important person on your path. The most important person for enlightenment. More important than your parents, actually. So then that's why the negative actions that we do with that person becomes very, very heavy. Yeah. But a lot of misuse is happening because of that trust in the Guru. This is why. But you can also read in the texts, what is a good Guru? So inform yourself. Or what the Dalai Lama says sometimes, he says like, you Westerners are really funny, you know. It's like, any Lama who comes to the West, you don't even know the teachings, you go there, you feel inspired, and you say, wow, you know, he's so great, and you go and ask, you know, please be my Guru, and then you become their student or their disciple, and then you notice, oh man, you know, this guy is worse than I am, there is in ethical conduct or whatever. And then he says, and then you can come and complain to me. To tell me that, you know, I should do something about these false gurus. He says, what do you think? I'm not sending these gurus to the West. You know, he says, you're very intelligent people. You know, you can read up what the guru is, but don't go for appearance and, you know, how many students and all this. See if that person really teaches what they should teach, and they should teach you the path to enlightenment. Yeah, so like that. Gosh, we're not getting very far here, yeah? Okay, so in this way, it is as if I swallow the lethal poison. I must practice the antidote right away and purify all this negative karma immediately without a second's delay. So the antidotes are the four opponent powers. Yeah. So remembering impermanence and death, that makes it even more urgent. Many people my age or younger have died. Is that true? My age? Definitely. You know, already schoolmates, I have quite a few have already died. People who were at school with me. It's a miracle that I'm still alive and has this incredible opportunity to purify my negative karma. Death is certain, but its time is most uncertain. If I were to die right now, I would definitely be born in the lower realms. Because I could not practice Dharma there, I would remain in the lower realms for countless eons. Not forever, but for a long time. Therefore, how unbelievable fortunate I am to be able to purify my negative karma right now without even a second's delay by practicing the Vajrasattva meditation recitation. But as I'm saying, because we don't feel these negative imprints, there's no urgency. Because we don't realize I could be dead in 2 minutes, there's no urgency. That's the thing. So we have to read these things again and again and again. And it's words of a guru, who knows. And Lama Zopa, if you look at his teachings, he starts screaming. You can feel how he really kind of goes, come on guys, wake up, you're going to die one day. I think the other day he even said, none of you has realizations. What are you doing? And just taking teachings all the time. You will die, and then where you don't know where you're going to end up. So then he starts to shout it at us. So some people are put off by this because they want a gentle Lama with a gentle voice, you know. I think also Gachin Rinpoche is saying, I'm not going to travel anymore. If you want to see me, you have to come. I think it's good. You know, they have made it too easy for us. Gachin Rinpoche.
It's actually easier when they stay at one place, because if you want to...
Yeah, but then, you see, we have to make an effort. So many people come here, then it's like, it's not really what I want, something more to do. Once you're there, make the effort to go to Arizona, you're not going for a walk in the afternoon because you want to benefit, because you paid for the journey and like this. So this is what I mean. Of course it's much easier because your mind is there. Because why? Because you had to put effort into going there and pay money For the plane ticket here, Tel Aviv, Hertzeliya, it's like, yeah. You see, when you don't feel so well, and your home is very close, you go home. If you don't feel so well in the retreat, Orit, you do a lot of retreats, you go home? No, you go to the session because there's nothing else to do. And then it disappears. Yeah, this whole thing, it really encourages to stretch the borders. Why? Because there's no possibility to go home and to go to bed. Yeah, so this is why. So this is what I'm saying. Actually, it's quite a good thing that the lamas don't travel anymore from left to right, so that we do need to make an effort. Okay. If I were to this we have. So down the power of generating bodhicitta, but I am not practicing this Vajrasattva purification for myself alone. The purpose of my life is to release all hell beings, pretas, animals, humans, asuras, suras, and intermediate state beings from all their suffering and its causes, and lead them to unsurpassed enlightenment. In order to do this, I must first reach enlightenment myself. Therefore, I must purify all my negative karma immediately by practicing the Vajrasattva meditation recitation. So we would like to have results in our practice, because otherwise, yeah, all the effort we put into it and there's no result becomes very boring and tiresome. So, but we have to prepare the field, because the field, our mind is filled with like garbage and stones and things that are not conducive for these beautiful things like patience, generosity, and all that. We plant these seeds, but if the soil is not prepared, then it goes into shame and embarrassment and self-hate and whatever, because we think we should have a wonderful crop. Well, we don't. Why? Because the field is not pure. The ground is not even. Yeah, it's like we need to even it up. So the visualization. So now we take as a support a Buddha who said, when I'm a Buddha, like when we say when I'm grown up, when I'm a Buddha, I will be the Buddha who helps people purify negative karma. Now, all the Buddhas are exactly the same. But when we give them the power to help when we're sick, like the medicine Buddha, when we give him the power to help us when we have projects like Tara, when we give him the power to purify like Vajrasattva, when we give him the power for exams, Manjushri, like the Buddha of wisdom, then it works. Not from their side, but again, the placebo from our side. Yeah, that's why. So we take him, because he said, I'll be the purification guy here. So you visualize. And you see, if you visualize a piece of cake, it doesn't last, no, maybe that's not strong enough. If you visualize a friend, you visualize the person, and soon after you have attachment. You want to be with that person. Yeah. If you visualize an enemy, very quickly anger comes, even quicker than the attachment to the friend. Anger comes, and you want to be safe. There's nothing happening here. You're just visualizing. You visualize Vajrasattva, neither attachment nor aversion. Yeah. So the mind has the ability to be neutral, to be present, to be aware with an object. That's why also we visualize these pure forms as a support, because we want to attain that state. So we need a role model. So in this case, it's Vajrasattva. Yeah? So above the crown of my head, seated upon a lotus and moon seat. So the lotus and moon is like definite emergence and bodhicitta, are Vajrasattva, father and mother. Why father and mother in this sadhana? Because Lama Yeshe, and also in the picture here, if it's like this one, single, they say you only can purify your self-liberation vows, like the pratimoksha vows would be your 5 lay vows, pratimoksha vows, self-liberation vows, the vows we take for liberation. You take 5 lay vows, 8 lay vows, like this, for your life, and monks and nuns vows. Yeah, this is self-liberation vows. Has a lot to do with conduct. Conduct of body and speech.
And bodhisattva vows?
No, then you take the bodhisattva vows. The bodhisattva vows have a lot to do practicing the 6 perfections.
Yes,
The 8 seem good.
but for
Yes, 18 root vows, 46 branch vows,
But-
bodhisattva vows.
But these are not tantric vows.
No, then you take tantric vows.
So the,
There are 3 different sets of vows.
the Vajrasattva that is not in union can purify the bodhisattva vows.
You purify the pratimoksha and the bodhisattva vows, the sutric vows.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay? Whereas when it's in union, because it's highest yoga tantra and you only have tantric vows in highest yoga tantra, then it also purifies these vows. This is why Lama Yeshe said, let them have, when they do the visualization, let them have like in union. Now people go, but I don't have tantric vows. But you must have had them in previous lives. And tantric vows, of course we break them because we're supposed to remember emptiness all the time. Yeah. Okay? So again, you can say, I don't want to take these vows because I won't be able to keep them. Then you will never be able to take them. If you take them, even you can't keep them, but you put effort into keeping them, at one point you will be able to keep them. If you can keep them, you don't need to take them. Yeah? You see what I mean? But again, we're so arrogant. We say, oh no, I only take them when I can keep them. I'm not making false promises here. You know? We take these vows in order to be more aware and to change our behavior. So as you say, bodhisattva vows are there to help us practice the 6 perfections. Okay, so that's why he is in union. And what's the union? Bliss and emptiness. That's the union in Tantra. Okay? The bliss that comes from understanding emptiness. The bliss is method, the emptiness is wisdom, which has to come into union. That's why. So it's not ordinary man and woman having sex or something like that. But it looks like it. You know, when you see the whole picture, she is sitting in his lap and she has her legs around his body and they're crossed at the back, at his back. So they are in union. Okay? He holds the doji and the bell. The doji is method, the bell is wisdom. She a curved knife and the skull cup. The knife is wisdom, the skull cup is method. They are embracing each other. The father is adorned with 6 mudras, 6 perfections. The mother with 5. So what he has on his body, the 6th mudras or 6th thing is like ash. And she doesn't have, I don't really know exactly why. Maybe because the 6th perfection is wisdom, and she represents wisdom because she's the female, but I'm not sure.
What? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't blame you that you don't understand.
Is it that with
So the mudras, it says mudras, but it's signs. So he has a belt, he has anklets, he has necklace, he has a crown, he has earrings, and he has ash. So 6 mudras. Yeah?
Okay.
You don't see the ash.
No.
You have 6 mudras. She only has 5 mudras. So she has all these ornaments also, but she doesn't have ash. So I really don't know, and I never ask anybody, why is she only having 5 mudras? What comes to my mind now, because she represents wisdom, and wisdom is the 6th perfection. She doesn't need the 6th. I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe it's again, you know, this male thing, because don't forget, it comes from the patriarchal culture, very much so. So maybe again it's this thing, you know, the man has to have at least 1 more than the female. You know, I don't know. I really don't know. Because also when you see proportions, he's much bigger than she is. Yeah? So... But it's cultural, okay? Like, you know, like you read somebody the other day criticized, said, well, Shantideva, you know, there's this sentence, may all women be reborn as men. Well, would you like to be reborn as a woman in a Muslim country? Yeah. You know, like really like ISIS or something like this?
No.
Would you like to be reborn as a woman in India, in a poor village? This you can only say no when you know that you have 3 possibilities. You become a prostitute, or you marry the widower who is constantly drunk because you can't, you know, you're poor and you cannot pay a dowry, or you go and work as a servant in the town where you don't have enough money to go back home to visit your parents. You earn almost nothing. As a woman, these are the possibilities you have. in a village when your parents are poor? Would you like to be reborn in like Orthodox, Jewish, Hasidim, kind of, Haredi? I don't know, where it's difficult to, where you lose your friends when you say, no, thank you, I don't want to do that. I know it's not everywhere like this, but it's a big step when they want to change, yeah? Also the guys. So, that was one reason, because as a woman, it's more difficult. Slowly, it's changing. I mean, you have 2 men and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women, okay? So in order to do spiritual practices, looks like in the West, it seems easier. So then we have to change it, Still, whenever somebody gets bashed up, when it's like 2 genders, it's usually the woman who gets bashed up, isn't it?
It's the opposite.
Huh?
Only in the West that the majority of the spiritual practitioners are women. In the
Yeah,
East,
this
it's the
is what I'm saying. Here in the West, it's like this, so we need to change the sentence. Because it looks as if in the West you have a better chance to be able to do spiritual practice if you're a woman than when you are a man. In the East it's like this. And he is from the East, that's why he says that. If it would be somebody who is making the text now in the West, they might say it differently. But also they say it's easier for a man if you are wanting to do serious meditation and you want to go to the mountains in a cave alone. It's too dangerous for a woman, because you might get raped and all these kind of things. There's less chance as a man that you'll get attacked. That's why. Yeah, so there's a lot of culture here also. So Vajrasattva is my root guru, the holy mind of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya, who out of his unbearable compassion, which embraces me and all mother sentient beings, appears in this form to purify me and all others. Yeah? So for that, the guru takes on this form now. He can also take on the form of Tara or Yamantaka or whatever. Yeah. So in this way, your mind is transformed into Guru devotion, the root of all blessings and realizations of the path to enlightenment. I mean, it is important. Guru devotion in the tantric practice is very important. So on the moon disk at Vajrasattva's heart stands a hung, which represents the wisdom, encircled by a garland of the 100-syllable mantra. Like going around like this, a powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hung and mantra garland, and I'm cleansed of all sickness, spirit, time, negative karma, and obscurations. So it's a very, very short explanation of what happens during the mantra recitation. Because what comes also, you might see, well, where is the wisdom beings? Where is the initiation deities? Where is all this? So all this is missing because it's a short Vajrasattva meditation. So you're supposed to know that. And then do it automatically. Yeah.
And if you don't?
Huh? And if you don't, well, never mind. You will learn it when you go to do the 3 months Vajrasattva retreat, because there the sadhana is like thick like this. So you do, front generation, then you do offerings, then the wisdom beings come, then the initiation, then the whole thing comes, like in the Nunes. Yeah? Huh? Not necessarily. You do the 7 limbs, like all the mandala, all this. Yeah, this is short because people don't have time, but then you miss out on things if you don't know the long one. If you know the long one, it doesn't matter. Then you can do the short one properly. Yeah. So this is why I'm saying it, because I'm saying that this is missing, so that you don't have the illusion that this is a complete sadhana. It's just a shortened sadhana.
It's still beneficial to do it.
It's very beneficial. It's very beneficial to do. Of course, it's very beneficial. It's better to do something short and do it than to have something long and not do it. Yeah. Okay, so so we have 3 different methods. So first one, if you look at page 13. So the first one, you learn to play with your energies. So first one, like the energies, you push them down, yeah? meaning you have to visualize the white, blissful Kundalini energy. You see, this is a kind of language from 40 years ago when Lama Yeshe was teaching hippies. So they were all, they were all kind of smoking dope and bliss. For them, they knew what bliss is because they were relaxed. They smoked dope. They went to India or overland. They took 1, 2, 3 years off and stayed there as long as they could. They're not like us, like now. They didn't have mobiles, they didn't have computers. They wanted to make a better world, basically, a more peaceful world. Yeah. So they had high ideals. So this is their language, the Kundalini energy. So bliss was very important for hippies. Yeah. Visualize, and they knew what bliss is from their drugs. So visualize the white blissful Kundalini energy flows down from Vajrasattva Father and Mother in union into your central channel. It spreads throughout your nervous system, flowing very strongly like water coming from a hose or like a very powerful shower, and flushes out all the negativities of your body, speech and mind. To the openings and pores of the lower part of your body, all this negative energy is expelled in the form of snakes, scorpions, ants, long worms, etc., or whatever, or as black tar or dirty black oil. Feel that you are completely purified, clean, clear, especially your gross negativities, and overcome with blissful energy. Okay, so that's the first. So we do that 7 times. Yeah, you recite the mantra 7 times, and you visualize Vajrasattva on your crown. You can take this as a support. Also, if you can't visualize, look at the picture, close your eyes, look at the picture, close your eyes, look at the picture, close your eyes. If you look at the picture, you close your eyes, you can feel the imprint on the mind still for a little while, even your eyes are closed. Yeah? And then the more you're familiar with the picture, the more you don't need the picture anymore. But make it 3-dimensional and alive. And this is another thing, we can do that. I mean, if I look at the picture of my lover, which is flat and 2-dimensional, and I close my eyes and I dream about him, I see him 3-dimensional. Not like the way here, like, flat. And moving, yeah, of course. Moving, smiling, all this. If you want to have him move, as I did in my first retreat, it's fine, but stay with what you're doing. You're purifying negative karma. So the energy goes down. Then with the tennis balls, it was going up, like that. Okay? Try to be playful and allow the mind to let the mind free a little bit and ask the mind, how does purification look for me? What kind of stuff do I want to come out? These are just suggestions here. Yeah? How does Vajrasattva look for me? How does the light go in? What does it do? What is it bringing out? Yeah? How do I look when I'm pure? Like this. Try to be creative. It's okay. Yeah? Okay. So for the mantra, you need to go back, if you don't know it by heart, you need to go back to page 8. So we do 7 times, we do this long mantra.
So if you don't know the mantra by heart, is it okay to do it, to recite it 7 times and then do the visualization?
Yeah, exactly.
Interchange it?
Totally okay. But do both, because very quickly you learn the mantra. This is probably one of the longer mantras that you know first. Yeah. Doesn't take long. If you recite it like 3 times every day, I would say 1 week you know it. But you need to do it. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasini Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chintan Shiyam Kuru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan sorry Savatata Gata Vajramame Muncha Vajrabhava Ma Samayasa Aum Pe. This is a good thing to know because it depends what I do. Because my daily practice, Om Vajraheruka Samayama, it's with Heruka, it's not with Vajrasattva. It's the same visualization, but it's Vajrasattva in union, so then it's Heruka Vajrasattva. So then I'm used to that. So then sometimes I get caught up. Sometimes it's, if you do newness, it's Om Pema Sattva Samaya. It's from the lotus family. Okay. So. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasini Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitan Shiyam Kuru Hao Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama Me Muncha Vajraba Samaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasidi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shiyam Kuru Ha Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama Me Muncha Vajrabhava Ma Samaya Sattva Om Pem Vajrasattva Samaya. So light is coming in on top, goes down central channel, fills all your other meridians or channels or your nervous system, whatever is more meaningful to you, fills the whole body. You can also visualize a kind of dissolves all solidity in the body, and all the negativities are coming out through your lower doors. So we learn to move the energies downwards. And what you can also think, usually when we do the downward thing, is like I'm purifying all negativities created by the body, like killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. I'm purifying the tendencies for repeating it. I'm purifying the imprints that the same thing will happen to me. So you don't need to be able to remember that you consciously the whole time. It's okay to think it once, then you let go, and then you go back to the visualization. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasini Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shiyam Kuru Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama Me Muncha Vajrabhava Ma Samaya Sattva Aum Pe. Then the upwards movement is usually kind of related to the speech, that we think we are purifying negativities of our speech, which is lying, slander or divisive talk, harsh words and gossip. So you visualize the blissful Kundalini energy slowly fills your body, starting from below. As the level of Amrita, Amrita is nectar, rises, your negativities start to rise as well, floating on top of that nectar like oil floating on water. Your negativities and defilements are slowly pushed upwards by the pure Amrita Kundalini energy. It gradually overflows out of your body through all your upper orifices and your crown chakra, and you experience great bliss. The great bliss you cannot produce. Yeah, the great bliss will come. There's no point thinking about it, and then it will come. Just relax. Play around with it, play around with upwards and downwards moving energies. And central channel, for those who do yoga, Kundalini stuff, it gets very purified, it becomes clear. Then the bliss will come. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasiddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shriyan Kuruhung Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajamame Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasini Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shriyan Kuruhung Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajamame Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasiddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shriyan Kuruhung Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajamame Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manu Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarvasiddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitta Shriyan Kuruhung Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe. So then the third one is purifying the mind. So you visualize an immense amount of power. Huh?
I have a question.
Yeah.
In visualizing this way from the bottom to the top, there is a bit of difficulty to visualize also Vajrasattva. Before it was easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that because I never have it coming out of my crown. I only have it coming out of nose, mouth, and ear.
Okay, not going.
I never read about crown. It's a good point because I would also find it difficult.
Yes.
So I just did it like these orifices out of habit. Because otherwise you have to have Vajrasattva really far up, like not too close on your crown.
Like floating.
Yeah, he is floating anyway, so...
So the negativity is towards...
It's okay. You know, that's fine. It's like he can transform it. There's absolutely no problem. So actually, it's, you know, again, if it's difficult, don't do it. It's the first time I read that it comes out to your crown also. It doesn't mean it's wrong, okay? It's just different. Because, you know, it's dangerous to talk like this. Then people say, oh, there was something wrong with the sadhana. No, it's different. So whatever you feel comfortable. I have never done it out of the crown, only mouth, nose, ears. Then sometimes it's like, you know, my mouth is a big snake coming out of my mouth sometimes. So let the mind a little bit free and see what comes out. Yeah? Affluences, kind of dirt, garbage, whatever. Yeah? So yeah, good point. So then last one is like it goes direct, so an immense amount of powerful light energy, limitless, blissful, kundalini energy in the form of light. This is really Lama Yeshe's speech. Kundalini energy in the form of light radiates from Vajrasattva's heart. Immediately, as it makes contact with your crown chakra, the negative energy, especially your ignorant attachment energy, completely disappears. Just when a bright light is switched on in a dark room, the darkness instantly and completely disappears. You cannot say that the darkness leaves through the window or through the door when the light is turned on. It just disappears, no longer existing anywhere else at all. So this is purifying the mind, yeah, which is less gross than body and speech. So body and speech, we still saw the negativities going somewhere. Yeah. Whereas with the mind, the moment you understand emptiness, there is no more negativity anyway. So this is like the light is switched on, the darkness doesn't go anywhere. Meaning you purify the mind, which is envy, covetousness, and especially wrong views. So even if the mind, even if the room has been in dark for like millions of years, the moment the light is switched on, there's no more darkness, it doesn't go anywhere. So this is the nature of our mind, is light, is purity, is this and that. So sometimes you also have sadhanas where, you know, the white light is coming here to purify your body, or the light, not to make it complicated, the light to purify goes here, to purify the speech, like to move it upward, comes in here, and then it goes into your heart chakra. Here it says the moment it touches your crown chakra, it's fine. So again, you know, I usually have it first go down, but if the crown chakra is enough, try out what works best for you. Yeah, this is why we have different things also, different sadhanas.
But do you do all three methods at the same time? Like at the
one
same
after the other, one after the other. Yeah, like we did now. So if you do 21 mantras in a session, for example, you do 777. Yeah. And if you do like a long retreat where you have to do 100,000 mantras and then you do it every day like for an hour or so, then you divide it into 3. Yeah. Because it is purifying negativities of body, speech and mind. Yeah. So, or if you feel that there's a need for a lot of body purification, you just do body the whole time. If you feel that, ooh, speech is, then you do just the speech. If you feel mind, you do the mind. Or you do the 3 like one after the other. But it is especially, it's training for highest yoga tantra. When you do move, not just the visualization, but you start to move energies towards the heart chakra in certain sadhanas. Yeah. So it's a preparation for that. To learn to work with these upwards and downwards moving winds.
The channel, is that what we call the channels of the wind?
Yeah, the channels and the winds are in the channels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the central channel is about this thick, they say, and the channels next to it, how do you call them in English? Nebenkanäle. The central channel and side channels. Side channels are next to it, but they're thinner. They're a little bit thin. But again, it's okay to hear it. This is the problem with Westerners. We don't have enough grace just to hear it and then not be able to do it. But it's good to hear it, so then when the mind becomes more calm and you're more into this, then all of a sudden the image comes because you've heard it. But no, then we want to do it, everything together now, exactly what size, this and that. So it doesn't mean because I tell you what size, you should be able to see it or to visualize it. Yeah, but it's good to know it. So then at one point when the mind becomes more calm and more clear, then you can visualize it. Okay? So we do the last 7. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Sopokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasiddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitan Shriyam Kuruhung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama Me Muncha Vajrabhava Mahasamayasa Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasidi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitanshiyam Kuru Hung Ha Ha O Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajama Me Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarvasiddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitanshiyam Kuru Hung Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajama Me Muncha Vajabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patishta Tidyo Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Savasidi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sucha Me Chitanshiyam Kuru Hung Ha Ha O Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajama Me Muncha Vajaba Mahasamaya Sattva Om Pe. So we finished the sadhana, page 8, where it says generating faith in having been purified. From the crown of my head, Guru Vajrasattva says, child of the race or lineage, your negativities, obscurations, and broken and damaged pledges have been completely purified. Race, I mean, what race? The Bodhisattva race. So one wouldn't use the word race today anymore because it's very tricky and very touchy, so one would say lineage. You have come into the family of Bodhisattvas. That's why. You're a child of the Buddhas, you're of the lineage of the Buddhas. You will become a Buddha at one point. So Vajrasattva is very pleased, kind of saying, oh great, you've done your homework. You will become a Buddha at one point because you did purification. So let go of all your negativities. At the moment they have been purified. So the more we believe in it, same as with the placebo. The more we believe in it, and we just do, okay, now I'm pure. Not if and and but and all this. Or imagine, how is it to be without any negative emotions? Because you don't have I hope, you don't have negative emotions at the moment. How would it be to live like this for the rest of my life? Totally open heart, absolutely fearless, always knowing what to do, not being proud and arrogant about it, not looking down on others because of it, but feeling very grateful, very happy when I can help them, not because I want them to like me. Now I have become like this, the result of this practice. Free from any negative emotions, distorting views, grasping onto something that doesn't exist. Liberated, free. Okay, then the power of determination, because the moment we come back into this like ordinary mind, then the delusions arise again, so we go before Guru Vajrasattva, then whatever you think, you can commit to not do negative actions for the rest of your life. You commit that. For the ones you have problems with, then you make your own time span. A day, an hour, a minute, a week. Then Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with your pledge. So we like to please beings that we are depending on. Then that also makes us happy. So Vajrasattva, Father and Mother, melt into light, dissolve into you. Your body, speech and mind become inseparably one with Guru Vajrasattva's holy body, speech and mind. To remind ourselves, actually by nature we would be Vajrasattva, but because of our wrong views, we project an ordinary view which has dualistic thinking. An ordinary being with suffering and causes of suffering, created by wrong views. Now we think we're much closer to our nature, which is totally pure, totally compassionate, totally loving, totally wise, and totally relaxed and blissful. So remember emptiness. In emptiness there's no I, creator of negative karma. There's no action of creating negative karma. There's no negative karma created. Place your mind in that emptiness for a little while. In this way, look at all phenomena as empty. They do not exist from their own side. The pure ones not, the non-pure ones not. Vajrasattva also doesn't exist from its own side. I don't exist from my own side. Others don't exist from their own side. Everything is just like a dream or like an illusion. And with this awareness of emptiness, we dedicate the merits. Due to all these merits of the 3 times collected by all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, myself and all other sentient beings, which appear to be real from their own side, but which are empty, may I, who appears to be real, but is empty, achieve Guru Vajrasattva's enlightenment, which appears to be real, but is empty, and lead all sentient beings who appear to be real, but are totally empty, to that enlightenment which appears to be real but is empty, by myself alone, who appears to be real but is also totally empty, non-existent from my own side. May the precious bodhicitta, the source of all happiness and success for myself and all other sentient beings, be generated within my own mind and in the minds of all sentient beings without even a second's delay. May that which has been generated be increased. May I and all other sentient beings have Lama Tsongkhapa as our direct Guru in all our lifetimes, never be separated for even a second from the pure path that is greatly praised by the conqueror Buddhas, and actualize the complete path, the 3 principal paths, the 2 stages of highest Yoga Tantra, the root of which is Guru devotion, within our minds as quickly as possible. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra realized things as they are, I dedicate all these virtues in the best way that I may follow after them. Whatever dedication the 3-time victorious ones gone to bliss have admired as best, in the same way I also perfectly dedicate all these roots of virtue so that I might perform good works. Okay. So, the good thing about sadhana practice is everything that you need to do, think, visualize, say is in here. But then we want to do more. Yeah, we need to do it perfectly or whatever. Then we make it complicated. Yeah, if we were just happy with what we're able to do of the instructions, we'd be very joyful, but then we're usually not happy with what we're doing. Or are you happy with what you're doing, with what we did? Very happy. Who said very happy? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, it's important. You see, that's what the path is all about, is to be happy. It's not to make life more complicated. Yeah? But we make it more complicated because we want to do these very kind of intricate things, very delicate things with our very gross mind. So then we can't. But we do whatever we can and then we're happy about this. Yes?
When we make promise,
Yeah.
I find it easier to promise good things that I will do. That
Yeah.
I will have more patience,
Okay.
let's say, or things.
Then to be less angry. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. You can
Yes,
do
I
that.
will- It's okay with me. But there are even more difficult things maybe to say.
Yeah. 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 Again, if it inspires you more, then that's fine. Okay, so now it's like 4:20, so I don't know. Shall we make a break and do another session, or shall we leave it as it is? And if tomorrow no new people come, you know, it's terrible what I'm saying. I hope that no new people will come so that we can really do the practice. But if new people come again,
Three that were not here today.
but do they know about these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, then.
Yeah.
Then we can just go.
They couldn't come today, but they will come tomorrow. They are
Yeah.
not new.
Yeah. So maybe we can just do the practice because it's to do, it's not to talk about. Yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to go home, or shall we make like quarter of an hour break, do another session, or it's up to you really.
Be until 5:30.
Yeah, about.
Isn't it too late for someone?
Or the ones who want to go home now, they go home. The ones who want to stay, they stay. So you become responsible for your own actions. You have one more opportunity to unload a lot of things because I will just read what it says. I will not say anything. We do 7 times down, 7 times up, 7 times totally instantaneous. So you have another occasion to unload. If you are totally clean already or you've had enough, and then you go home. And thank you very much for coming. So we make a break until 22. Yeah? Quarter of an hour is okay? 22:05. Break until 22:05. If you would like to go home, then that's fine. If you don't want, then you can stay. And don't feel bad if you go. You know, don't go like, oh, I should stay, but I don't want to go. It's like, if you should stay, then stay. You know, if you want to go, then go. So this is also being happy about what we're doing. I mean, it's so important that we start. I know it sounds contradicting, you know, that we should start to be happy with how we are now instead of always wanting to be better. Because if we're not relaxed, we cannot practice this. And being happy with what we are now, it doesn't mean you don't do anything. Your material that you're working with is much more flexible than the unhappy, stiff, self-judging mind. That one is not, you can't work with that one. So you can, you know, go, well, okay, I'm not perfect, but I'm not too bad. Yeah, something like that. You need a lot of skills to do these things so that they create joy and not kind of guilt and heaviness and, yeah, I should, you know. No, it's not I should, it's, yeah, I can. I can do another session. Do I want? No. Then you go home. No big deal. Really. If you're not depending on other people driving, you know, so it's like, then that's another question. Whether you're here with your own car or whether you can have a means to go home. Yeah? So anyway, so now it's break until 20 to 5, and by 5:30 we're definitely finished.